research, you don't get to refer to yourself in a large paragraph, but it's pretty clear that that's what their first point is. Do they explain their first point? Like, do they add on to the explanation of what taming wild animals is?
Yes.
Yes, how do they do it, Tate?
Taming wild animals means making a wild animal people
Right, yeah, okay, so they make their point, and then they explain their point, and I think they do a pretty good job of it. Do they have evidence to support their point?
Yes.
Caroline, what is it? Yep, the author states it is possible to tame wild animals, like tame squirrel, it's very much gone, squirrel has to be hurt in the base. Okay, so good, they do have evidence, but do they give a reference? No. So we wouldn't know who that comes from. So while it's good that they have evidence, they didn't give credit to whoever it is. All right, and then lastly, are there transition words in this paragraph at all?
No.
No, there's not. So you would write none for that question. There are none. That's important to know. Don't look for them and make it up. Like if you're looking at your friends and you're like, well, the author state seems like a transition. Don't stretch because I'm the one that's going to grade it. And if they don't have transition words, they're going to miss all those points in that category. So you really want to, if it's not obvious that there are transition words, you should probably let that person know, hey, you need transition words or you're not going to get full points for it. So no transition words. Okay. What would you say is a positive and a negative, or a positive and a suggestion for this paragraph? What's good about this paragraph? You can have a chat.
Okay.
Talk to someone about something that's good about it, and maybe a suggestion that you would give to them for their body paragraph.
I would suggest we're gonna have to be careful because when I all of this, then somebody's gonna hit.
That's right.
So yeah, they need to
They need to not say or so many times.
Oh no.
Wait. We should have read the third one. There were so many typos. There's so many typos that got me so mad. They either didn't put a period where they should, they capitalized it, and then weird. Yeah.
But it doesn't go off.
You know that's what you know what?
I don't know his name, but I know a 10-year-old in our grade. He's that smart.
Wait, how do you know that?
I don't actually know.
Miss Hugan, did you know that we have a 10-year-old in our grade?
I thought 10th grader.
No, because I don't want people to, I don't know anyone. Okay, so,
Did you correct that on this?
no, she just sent me a bunch of examples that I could use for this purpose. Okay, so what's good about this? What's good about this paragraph? There are some good things. I can find some. What's one, Danny?
It's on point.
It's what?
On point.
It sticks to the point. So it has a clear point and it doesn't stray away from it. So that's good. So
They have evidence.
they have evidence. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yeah.
Okay. I do feel like this follows very basically the Peel structure. It shows points with explanation, evidence, and then this is their link. It follows the structure well. It follows the structure. What would we say for a suggestion? Natalie, what did you say would be a suggestion you would give?
I said that they could think of a better link because that one would be placed into that was not talked about in wild animals being nice aren't talked about that much in the second paragraph.
Yeah, so it's kind of off topic, and it's just not very strong. It could be better. Kendall?
Not say or so much.
Okay, so repetitiveness, you might say maybe think of replacement words. I mean, do you feel like this gives enough detail? It's very, very basic. It's the minimum that they would have to do to make their point, explain. They don't give a lot of details. So they could probably add more details and give, obviously, their reference. Okay. moving on to the conclusion. Okay, so it says, do you know what makes up a wild animal, or you can tame wild animals, or you have to be able to have wild animals as pets in some states? This helped me because wild animals are illegal and a lot of people have wild animals all over the world. My research is important because a lot of people have wild animals.
Oh, wow.
Okay. So conclusion, where do we see the summary? The summary of what was already discussed.
It kinda, I don't.
And they don't put spaces.
Colton, you see any summary of what was already discussed in the paper?
No?
No, nothing at all? Natalia? Okay, they restate their thesis, so that's kind of like a summary. They give their main points again. They talk about wild animals and taming them as pets. Sure. What about their analysis? Do you remember with our analysis, that is sort of like answering your research question. It's your conclusion that you've come to based off of all your research that you've done. Okay, so they say it's helped me because wild animals are illegal and a lot of people have them. It's important because a lot of people have wild animals. Okay, is this analyzing those points though?
No.
It's just simply saying this is important, analyzing anything. I think that it's hard for them to have an analysis because it's not clear what their text structure is. So they would need to probably have additional information to be able to make an analysis. Right now, it's just basically telling us what wild animals are and whatever. Okay, so last thing. For overall writing, look at those, if you're on the assignment, look at the questions. Does the writing sound smooth or choppy? Give a specific example. The arms part stands for adding or removing information. The M is moving around information, and the S is substituting words and phrases. Where could this author benefit from either one of those or more than one of them? Is there a spot where they could add things? Is there a spot where they could substitute words or move things around? What do you think? And then you need to tell overall something that you like about this writing and 2 suggestions for improvement. So talk to someone around you about the overall writing and the last question that you have on there. Exactly, so that's what this is for you to provide feedback so that they can get a better grade.
I think they should
There's gonna be at least
explain
somebody
more.
in here who has a similar.
Oh my gosh. I read Miss Hugan. Example number 3 drives me nuts. It seriously has so many typos.
To my camera.
Overall, personality, and they know what they're talking about. They just aren't very
They literally
repeated the sub.
Are you going live?
I know.
Hey, Kendall. Want to be famous?
Yeah. I gave him one.
You probably threw it in the trash.
Probably ate it.
Kendall, you want to be famous?
Want to be famous?
Want to be famous? Oh.
We're just gonna put you on our YouTube channel. Want to be on our YouTube channel?
Our YouTube channel probably has 1 subscriber.
It does.
Exactly. You. School account. Hey, I have more subscribers on YouTube than you do.
I'm going to unsubscribe to you.
How many do you have? 10? About. I'm kidding. I haven't been on my YouTube account for years.
All right,
Same. I don't do YouTube.
what do we think about their overall writing?
They're gonna get a bad grade.
Sorry.
Okay, this is, the point of us doing this is that if you are looking at someone else's writing and you come across something similar to this, how can you help them get a better grade? Because that's the whole point. This is a rough draft. So it's okay if it's not perfect, because now you can give them feedback for how to make it better so they can get a better grade. It's not like, oh, this sucks, sorry, man, you're gonna fail, like it's lost. It's a lost cause. What's up? Sorry, what are you gonna say?
I think that they know what they're talking about, it's just they don't know how to explain it, so maybe we can help them put them into their own words and explain it better.
Yeah, it looks like they did their research. I mean, they have some examples. They can tell us about, they clearly know that there are certain state laws. They know obviously like about wild animals, but they could probably improve by adding some additional information. More of their own explanation, maybe better examples, things like that. What else is good about their writing? Anybody have another thing that's good about it? Tyler?
Well, I did not read mine.
I know. Who is that, Hunter?
I like how he told me about a lot that I could take a wild animal. Now I'm an expert at animal.
Okay, so one thing that one of the other classes said actually was that it would have been probably better if they added like a paragraph about the steps to take to actually be able to care for and tame wild animals instead of just like talking about what it is. And then that would have made it more of a problem solution type structure anyway. Okay, constructive criticism.
I got two.
Feedback for what they could improve on. Tate? Okay, making their thesis statement clearer. What else? Hunter?
Evidence and reference.
Yep, they need to add evidence and references. Natalie, did you say you have feedback? Constructive criticism?
They shouldn't like put in some mistakes and then afterwards.
So the style of their writing isn't very formal, that's true. Hunter, what else?
You need to add more information because that can be very fine paragraph.
Yeah, and I think that some of their paragraphs too, like this is not a paragraph. Like although it, I guess technically is 4 sentences, which probably I guess follows Peel, that's not okay. Like your paragraphs are not gonna look like this. Zoe?
Be better, tell me first.
Glad that you brought this up. So you're right, they do. However, make sure you're paying attention. When you're looking at your persons, I don't want you to give them any feedback on spelling and punctuation. That's editing, and right now we're just revising. So when we're looking for feedback, we want to give them feedback about the content of it, not the polished stuff, because we'll do that last. So you're not wrong.